What's up, guys? This is my 10th attempt trying to record my introduction video. We're here, we're doing it, so let me introduce myself. I'm Sway, I'm the owner of The Haven Builders. I'm a contractor in South Georgia. The first things I'm gonna do in this video is discuss the questions that I always get from my clients, other special projects that I get, and from things that I've learned in my own experience of 2 years, almost, it's up to 2 years that we're in business. We're gonna talk, we've learned so much already. Question number one, wood versus composite. There's nothing wrong with neither of them, okay? It just all depends on your budget of the project and the kind of maintenance you desire to have within your investment. One of the good things about a wood deck, it just looks natural. Here in South Georgia, everybody likes a natural feel, and it's usually cheaper up front too. The one thing about it is that it just ages faster and it just needs a few touch-ups every here and there with some stain, some sealant, of course. Overall, it's a good choice to go with. Now, with composite, it usually just costs more at first. It does last longer, it resists fading, and it resists the moisture buildup. So if you want something that's low maintenance, composite's the way to go with. If you want something more natural, a little bit more cost efficient, go with a wood deck. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. They're still pretty good builds. Can you build on an uneven backyard? Yes, you can, even if it's in your front yard, right? So that's really the main purpose of building a deck, is for uneven grounds. It's a platform that's just leveled out for you to step on comfortably, and you can, with a set of stairs that you walk down on, so you can avoid all this slopey, messy stuff on your property. Another question, what railing options are safer and most popular? I'll go ahead and tell you the most common ones that we get with our wood decks are gonna be these. These are the standard traditional railings that you go with. You have way much more options. This is a black aluminum rail. This is a cable rail. And then this is a composite rail. Now, all of these options are great, but then again, it all depends on your budget. It depends on the kind of deck you decided to go with and the kind of finish you're looking for. Now, here's a little bit more insight on that. Most of the contractors are going to recommend you to be code compliant with your rails. It's pretty much the reason why you want rails to be built in the first place. To be safe, all your rails need to be in the increment spans of 4 inches side by side. Just keep that in mind when you're looking at options. One of the things that my client mentioned to me is, when does she need to seal or stain her deck? We're talking about maintenance here, right? Let's say you got a new deck by us. All our decks are pressure treated. So within a month to 2 month time frame is the perfect time frame to stain your decks. The reason why being so, most of these pressure treated decks, when they're being built up, is that they have this chemical that we refer to as pressure treated, right? When you stain a pressure treated really recent after it's being built up, most of the time it rejects that stain. So you want to wait a month to 2 months before you stain your deck. Usually these questions, you can ask them to your contractor when you're building the deck. Most of them are gonna actually probably stain your deck right there and there, because at the process of building that deck, it pretty much dries up pretty quick. What's the difference between a porch, patio, and deck? Now, here in South Georgia, these terms pretty much mean all the same. So a deck is usually elevated, whether it's attached to your home or detached. It can be a standalone deck, right? That it's a platform built up just like a self-flooring system would be built. So a patio is usually it's usually padded with concrete, paver, or stones in your backyard, and it's usually an entertainment area. You have a fire pit in the center of it, or you might just have a garden bed stretching on the edges of your patio. Sometimes these patios can have a roof cover. Porch is a roof and deck combo. Here in South Georgia, we're pretty much coming across these types of builds. Porches, you can pretty much have these systems being built on a house or a mobile home. Now, these porches are attached to your house. They're not detached, they're attached to your house, whether it's a mobile home or a house. And just to summarize that, if it's raised, it's a deck. If it's on the ground, it's a patio. And if it's covered and attached, it's a porch. Can I add a porch later? Most of the time you can, right? But if you perhaps had a contractor out there to build a deck for you and you didn't let them know that you were deciding to do a roof later on, that is perhaps something very difficult for the next contractor or the same contractor to do. That deck was being built up solely for the purpose of having it as a deck. It just really depends on the structure of this deck and if the roof can be properly tied onto this structure according to it being code compliant and being attached to the house as well. So sometimes we have to reinforce new posts or adding new footings is required. Now, one of the biggest mistakes of these porches is just really tying it in. You don't want to tie something in and then it leaking afterwards. Just for heads up, a tip is just please let your contractor know what your future plans are so they can give you options, so they can really guide you in the right direction on how to build this deck before you decide to do it and then regret it later on. Now, can you enclose a porch? You can as well, but then again, when you're looking at these upgrades for your porch, some things to consider is just the frame out, the layout of the porch, and if you need to see if it can even be tied on to this roof existently, right? You can screen them in with screening, windows, or full walls. So another thing is you need to make sure that the structure must be strong enough to support the added weight, and permits allow you to do this to your current project. That is pretty much a wrap of this video. I don't want to extend this any longer. My name is Josue. I am the owner of the Haven Builders here in South Georgia, and I would love to keep bringing content to y'all. This is just a video just to kind of introduce myself to y'all. We're going to be showing some behind the scenes of what it takes to run this company. If you'd like to see any more content like this, let us know. And if there's anything else that you would like to see, please comment. And if you want to watch us grow into becoming a very successful YouTube channel, please subscribe. All right. That'll be a wrap for this video. Peace.